Hello everybody and welcome back to another edition of Let's Play Mother 3. Okay, so we are still our good friend here. Now we're at the point of the game where we started, so obviously that's what you call a poetic thing. Yeah. With this game, with the Game Boy, I've had experience, as you guys know who've followed me for a while, I have experience with, I have some experience when it comes to the Game Boy player on here. I played Pokemon Red, Yellow. I played Kirby's Kirby in Dreamland, the first game for the Game Boy. So I did a lot with the Game Boy player, and it was one thing I always said was, you know, it's one thing you never notice that the GameCube's D-pad is a little too small. Like, it's definitely better than like the 360 one, but it's too small. And I think that was what, like, it really shows what the time period of gaming was like for then, because the 3D gaming was just like the thing. Like, I remember the idea of a side scroller when the Wii came out. We started to see some more side scrollers again. And, like, I thought that was so foreign to me, because you know that there was just this need, like it was like going from cartridges to discs, VHS to DVD. I talked about an article with Nintendo going back to cartridges. I was saying, like, you know, it's seen as the old and here's the new, but then we started seeing a lot more 2D stuff. But yeah, let's continue on with the story. A very heartbreaking story. Oh, you made it. Traveling through the forest has become quite dangerous indeed. What were those extremely bizarre flying mouse things with bug wings? Seems one bit me right on the head, too. I've healed up perfectly, though. No, none of that matters. I know where Klaus might have gone. What of my froggy intelligence? He's at my friend's house. Let's over there right now. Alright, so now we have Alec in our party. Alright. And you know, I was actually playing Pokemon, I've been playing Pokemon White 2 lately. And there's this one thing I noticed, again, hang on, Flint. When I said froggy intelligence, just now, you know, you thought, what? Didn't you? Frogs work for my friend as messengers. Friend is able to talk to frogs, lizards, and what have you. See that lizard over there, for instance? No, I don't. We need to go in the direction it tells us. Oh, there he is. So yes, notice he looks like an arrow. That's pretty funny. Like frogs being able to save your data, because we actually have a father in this game, there's other type of reptiles like this arrow lizard that'll show us the direction we need to go, so we don't do a bunch of guessing work, as you've seen before. Ah, the Magypsies. Okay, people. I should have read that, but I want you to be aware of something. The Magypsies are actually a pretty interesting part of this game I'll get into, but for now, let me get back to my discussion on... So yeah, I've been playing Pokemon White 2, and I've noticed that the game, like Pokemon started adopting this idea along the same time as this game, like a little bit afterwards. And I always called the Mother series and the Pokemon series cousin franchises, because they shared a lot of developers, they shared a lot of similar traits to them, you know. And this is just one of the things I definitely noticed as both the series evolved. I'm a lizard. I will show you which direction you need to go. Round and round we go. Where I stop, soon you will know. Love that. So yeah, just more Earthbound quirkiness. And if you want some more Earthbound information, there's a YouTuber I like. Not that he needs a shout out, but God knows I need a shout. No, I'm kidding. Johnny Ortiz. Some call me Johnny. I'm a big fan of the Brain Scratch comms and him and whatnot. And, you know, I watch my share YouTube. He's actually doing a really interesting marathon, he calls them, of reviews on the Mother series. That being said, the reason I'm telling you this is because he's an outsider to the Earthbound franchise, and if you want, and from my perspective, you have somebody that you know, from my perspective, I've given you some Earthbound experience before, both VGAB and Let's Plays and whatnot. You know, so just so you know, when it comes to the Earthbound, you know, I can have a little bias. You know, I feel like what I like is Johnny Ortiz. He's talking a lot about how he's new to the franchise and he wants to get an outsider. He doesn't understand, like he can grasp why they're fans like me, total fanboys. But and he has a friend he plays with live stream sessions. But it's just, I think it's an interesting perspective if you want his look into the series, because I cannot, as a fan, as someone who does see what Johnny isn't personally seeing, I do think it's cool to see that kind of thing. I see you're not walking as fast now. Seems the world of Magypsies has made you curious. The Magypsies have mysterious powers, and have been protecting something here for a very long time. They're neither human nor beast, neither man nor woman. Keep that in mind. I have absolutely no idea how old they are. That explanation didn't explain much, did it? Basically, they're strange. All of them. And that's the series. Every one of them. That's just how they are. They are good-natured, though. Okay, I think for people who know this game, I think they know where this is going, but obviously this is not a game people are very familiar with. And stuff. Yeah. So how's everybody doing? I didn't ask that yet. So yeah, we're looking for Klaus. I think that's the important thing. And one thing I was neglecting to mention, because I was in the middle of my story there, was yes, these lizards will, whenever you have to go to a specific area, instead of searching for eons, which was a problem I have with Earthbound Beginnings, they just point you in the right direction. And you can call it, oh, but it's linear, but like I think I think this generation's sense of gaming has been so much better than the last generation. And I'm thinking about doing a VGAB to explain that, but, because, a long time ago I did console personalities, so I had this idea of talking about generation personalities, all the console generations as a whole, stuff like that. And, linear gaming has been something that, everyone's like, oh, God, everything's gonna be non-linear, linear's boring. Like, that's not necessarily true, but, like, it's weird. Wrong. I am the wrong frog. Right. I am the right frog. Okay, so we're gonna meet the Magypsies soon. But first, fun stuff like this. So here's Mother 3 using their environment a little more. They're being a little more creative. Yeah. Like, Mother 3 is definitely a different departure from the rest of the Mother series. Again, though, it is part of the same timeline. It's just, I like how it has this rebooty feel to it. Like, they definitely listened to all the complaints people had on the older games and what made them cult followings rather than big successes, Spare advice. The enemies sometimes leave nice items after you fight them? Yep. If your inventory is full, when you find an item you'll have to either give it up or throw an item away, which is why it's a good idea to always eat any food items you always go along. Yeah, I think that I think this is actually a necessary. Like that may have seemed like a dumb Sparrow advice, but I think that was pretty good because inventory space has always been a problem in Earthbound, and I have a feeling if there ever was a Mother 4, which there won't be, except for the fan game, which is really clouded in mystery right now. Like it's just weird. I think inventory, I think stackable items, like a very Pokemon attitude when it comes to that stuff. Alright, so here they are. They're having their... Okay, so I am a music nerd. I want to explain something about the Magypsies. Obviously, there is... all of their names have a theme. Their themes are the modes of the major... You'll know... Now, in a lot of, like... early music classes or like in Western classes in general, you'll learn a lot about the major and the minor scale. The major and the minor scale are... the major scale is actually what is referred to in music theory when talking about modes as the Ionian scale. The bird here, the sparrow here, I think mentioned Aeolian, which is the minor scale. And those two were just adopted because they wanted, there was, I think it was, quote me, I might be mistaken, this has been a while since I've taken a music history class, but there was this topic of the Catholic Church wanted to choose, since they were, at the time when music theory was growing, they were at the time the big people writing music, and they wanted the idea of hymns sounding positive and hymns sounding like maybe sadder. It's hard. I don't want to label the modes because that's something people tend to do. That's something amateur musicians tend to do, where they're like, "Oh, minor scale sad, major scale happy." It's not entirely true, but that was the idea. So there's the Ionian, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, Mixolydian, Aeolian, and Locrian scale. They all, I'll go into, I'm sorry, I'll stop talking about that because I'm a music nerd, but yeah, there you go. So here we are, the Magypsies. Neither man nor woman. So sleepy. Oh, humans. So yeah, Doria, the... Scrumptious. Okay, so... Alright, so I'm gonna... So, that's... I want to tell that story outside of the house, because once you get in here, I think it's entirely clear what content we're seeing here. We have... This is a transgender topic coming up here. Like this is, I think this is playing on early, like, obviously it's supposed to be that these are like more of magical creatures that don't have a gender, but every Let's Play I've ever seen, every time this came up in mainstream media, I'm sure once Mother 3 finally comes out in the VC, this might be talked about. You know, transgenderism does come into play here, but, you know, the Magypsies, they're, you know, I can't say how they represent, like, it's weird. Both Paper Mario in this game, The Thousand Year Door, both games I adore, both have a transgender talk because obviously everyone knows by now Vivian in the Japanese version is the same story as Birdo, even an earlier example of transgenderism. You know, it's just an elephant in the room I want to address now, so I don't have to do it again. You know, I can't say this is a positive or negative representation. I think it depends on people's views, but personally, I would go just to not cause a fight. Because trust me, I know this is going to be talked about once Mother 3 does get a Western release, because it's bound to happen now. Or it's bound to happen, huh? You know, I just want to say my thoughts of this now, because like when I started this Let's Play, I knew I'm going to have to bring this up. So here's my feelings on it. I'm going to go with the game was made in a different time. If you see this as a negative thing, if not, you just see it neutral. I can't imagine anyone seeing this as a positive thing when in terms of transgenderism, but just know, you know, that it's just from a different time, and they're just playing off the fact that these are magical creatures who don't have a gender, and the designers played around with that elements that Alec was talking about. My, who are these two? Don't be rude. Ionia, introduce us. Of course, where are my manners? This is my good friend Alec. And who's this with you? Flint, you say? Well, it's very nice to meet you. Now let's get you all properly introduced to us, the Magypsies. You're in luck. We're having a party today. Nearly all of us are here. First, we have Aeolia, based on the Aeolian scale or the minor scale. And there's Doria, based on the Dorian scale. Phrygia, based on the Phrygian scale, one of my personal favorite mode. Lydia, based on the Lydian scale. That's a famous. Every time I hear that about this scale, they always say the Simpsons theme song is actually based off this mode. And that over there is Mixolydia. The only one not here is Locria. Mixolydian, Locrian. I'm a music nerd. I had to talk about this too. You can call me Ionia. On the Ionian scale, the major scale. You can't remember all that? Of course not. That's why I introduced you, darling. Yeah, I can remember that because I'm a music nerd. Isn't that how it works? Right, Aleki Poo? They're doing the Crunk's New Groove thing. It's been a while. I'm glad to see you're all well. I hear you helped my grandson, Klaus. Do you know where he might have went? Oh, you mean the rambunctious little squirt from a little while ago. Then I suppose that's Flint's fellow is his follow. Ugh. This Flint... Oh, God, try saying that 4 times really fast. You know what I meant. Yes, I can see the resemblance now. You have the same eyes. I love that. He just takes a look. So, what about Klaus? Where is he? Oh, he took off. He was in a great hurry mentioning something about avenging his mother. I was feeling generous at the time, so I sent him on his way with a super powerful PSI technique. I doubt he'll be able to use it very easily, though. Yeah, I like how in Mother 3 they really flesh out the idea of how PSI abilities work. Like, it's something like apparently a lot of people can do, but it's something native to some people. Like, some people can do it a lot easier, but like it's kind of like in Dragon Ball Z, how Krillin shows for sure that anyone can fly, but it's just harder for them. So he left then, and you didn't stop him. What happens? What if it happens to him? Oh, get over yourselves. We couldn't care less about you humans. Here 1 minute and gone the next. You poor things barely live 100 years, if that. That's a blink of an eye to us Magypsies. Why would anyone bother to care about such short lives? Wow. Perspective in my mother game. Now. Mixolydia Phrygia. Humans worry about such short lives. Isn't that right, Alecky Poo? I understand how you feel, I really do. I don't care if you understand or not. Just tell us where Klaus went. Ooh, he needs business. The boy headed to the Drago Plateau. Quite rambunctious, I might add. Barely seemed concerned about his own short little life. If you go now, you might be able to catch him in time. Drago Plateau, you say? Flint, let's hurry there. Yes, totes. So yes, we met the Magypsies. Now they'll come up again. Flint. The quickest way to get the Drago Plateau is through the cave behind the house. Klaus probably went through there too. There's nothing to worry about, Flint. But we're not gonna get... what you need to do is smile, understand? Yes. Yeah, okay, but it seems pretty tense if you ask me. See, that's a thing. So yeah, we got a little instant heal over here. We got a save. You know, it's great. The cave is pretty tough. Like every Earthbound game, in my opinion, it can be a little tough at first, but you just gotta power yourself up to an appropriate level, and then it stays pretty consistent. So yeah, we have everything here. Wrong button. I meant to hit this button.